One of the most common issues you'll face when using a grapple or anything with a full range of motion is pinching of your hoses, especially right where the QT plate meets the attachment. This hose retainer will save you time and money, providing maximum uptime protection.
The first step is to gather all the tools that you will need to complete the process. Next, check to make sure that you have all the pieces for installation. These items include the Spring W welded hose clamp, bolt, washer, and nylon threaded lock nut, and optional cable. Note that an optional steel cable system doesn't need to be installed. However, we strongly recommend you do it for added protection against hose stretch. Now we're going to remove the panel with the top step. On either side of the step are two nuts that need to be removed. This panel protects the hoses as they are routed to each cylinder at each independent grapple. Facing the skid loader, on the right-hand side, you will see a single hole about a ½ inch from the edge. Take the included bolt and insert it from the bottom of the plate through this hole. Now, place the loop on the spring over the bolt, followed by the washer and nylon lock washer. Note that for units that have hydraulics on the opposite side, like a JCB, you will have to drill a hole on the other side of the plate. Next, reinstall the plate. Once secured, we can move on to measuring and attaching the hose to the correct length for your setup. Measure 40 inches from where the hose is attached to the grapple and mark that spot on the hose sleeve. Now, cut a hole on both sides of the hose sleeve between the two hoses. These holes allow for the bolt that secures the hose clamp to pass through it. The next step is to place the hoses on the bottom of the clamp, making sure that they are resting in the clamp channels. Take the top half of the clamp with the bolt inserted and insert it through the two holes cut in the hose sleeve and secure it to the bottom hose clamp. Now onto the cable install. If you want added hose security, we have included a steel cable that runs from the bottom coupler through the hose sleeve and then attaches to the top of the hose retainer. This cable adds a physical restraint at the end of the working range of motion, preventing too much hose stretch. To install the included cable, start by cutting or burning a small hole just large enough for the cable to enter about 4 to 6 inches from the hose is secured to the Skid Pro hose retainer. Now, run the cable through the sleeve. We will now move to the coupler end of the hoses. First, we need to determine which coupler is the bottom mounted coupler. Depending on your loader, this may either be a male or female, so check to ensure you have the correct coupler before you crack the line. Note, it is always a good idea to have a bucket and rag available when cracking hydraulic lines, especially on a grapple.
In the end, the way you set up your hoses and your hose retainer is personal preference. You can either run the cord or just simply have the clamp. And if you have any more questions, give your product guru a call at 877-378-4642. And as always, our promise to you is better products, better service, happier customers.